Hi, beautiful friends. Laurel here with Illuminating Souls. As you can probably tell from the lighting here, I am recording this in the early morning. Um, what's the date today? Today is December 21st. Happy winter, winter solstice. So here's the intention for this video for you today. I want to talk with you what is going on with the pandemic. I want to talk to you about how this energy might be impacting you. And I also want to talk to you about what self-care might look like for you. So here's the flow. I'm going to start off talking about the energy, and then I'm going to move on to my 2 cents about what's happening with COVID and how to take care of yourself. So if you're not interested in hearing me, um, you know, give a soliloquy about COVID, you can skip that part and I'll go right to the energy. So we'll start off with the energy piece, and then if you want to drop out after that, you can. But I know that some of you find it helpful when I talk about my suggestions about how to prepare for COVID. And so if you're one of those, that'll come in the second part of this conversation. First part. If you're watching this, I know that you are an empath, you are a light worker, you are a light bearer, you are sensitive to the energetic cycles that we are going through. And this one is a doozy. Um, you have much of humanity, the global population right now, in a state of upheaval, fear, concern, suspicion. If you just think about the vibrational resonance of the collective emotional body, we are feeling that right now. So even if you personally are not concerned, the collective is creating, if you'll think of it as an energetic weather system. I have been feeling this coming now for at least 6 weeks. I was having conversations. I have a dear friend that I tune in with together, and we both were saying, I said, I don't know what is coming, but it feels to me like it's a slow moving tsunami of energy. And I still am not quite sure what that's about, but I think part of it is the Omicron variant and everything that's going to come up as a result. So you likely have been feeling this too. Maybe your anxiety's been a little higher and your personal life curriculum is not is not giving you material that would make you more anxious. You may just be feeling it out of the blue. For me, the way it's been showing up, I had this weird day about a week and a half ago where I felt sort of anxious and almost suspicious of people around me, which is so not my MO. That is not what I go to. It's not, I don't even know that I've ever experienced a day like that before. And I remember calling my friend, I'm like, what is this energy? It's crazy. And then I had this other day where I was driving, and someone was driving the wrong way towards me, and I had to make this quick maneuver. It's like people are not as conscious as they normally would be. People are acting erratically. It's like there's an upheaval in the collective. And so again, I'm not in fear when I go out into the world, so that's not what I'm trying to project to you. More what I want to say is if you're feeling these things, don't feel like it's just you. We have this wave of experience that we are just starting to move through and will likely be with us for another few months. But typically, what happens is when these waves come in, it takes us a bit of time to acclimate to these energies, and then we're able to center ourselves better. I remember several years ago, um, many years ago. I think this was back around 2012, and I was channeling for a group of friends, and the energy was just so wonky. And we asked Josephus, we said, when is the energy going to come back to normal? When is it going to calm down? And their answer was, well, we have good news and bad news. The bad news is the energy isn't going to calm down. But the good news is you will acclimate to it and it will no longer feel as intense. It's like going to acclimate to a city at a higher altitude. People who live there all the time don't have the same physical symptoms that people who just visit there have. So it's going to get a little crazy. And right now, the wave is coming on shore. We're in all likelihood, you've been feeling it for the last 6 weeks. I know I have. It's going to get even more intense. And so whatever um, vibrational self-care that works for you, implement those strategies. And what you may find is what worked for you in the past doesn't work for you now. It doesn't mean that those tools are no longer relevant for you, but you may have developed um, a sense of deep familiarity with them, and they're not giving you the lift that you normally would need. So it may be something different than you've tried before. I didn't do this, but we were having a big rainstorm a week ago, and there was this part of me that was like, I just need to go and stand out in the pouring rain and let the rain clear my energy field. I didn't do it at the time, but I may wind up doing it this week. It's like, listen to your intuition. There will be rituals that will come up for you almost out of the ancestral body of how you can take care of yourself right now. Also, listen, in my book, staying home, cozying up, watching bad television, to me counts as self-care because it helps me disconnect from the world. It helps me lighten my load. The other thing I'm going to say, and I don't mean this to be a shameless plug for my podcast, but I'm going to share it with you. I had this beautiful dream of insight from the angels um, a few days ago. And it's about um, those of us that are carrying the weight of the world in our energy field. We might not even know that we're doing that, but it's easy to do. And the angels talk about that and how to clear that. And that's in the podcast episode that's coming out um, tomorrow, which is the 22nd. It's part 2 of Little Women. So if you get a chance to listen to the podcast, especially the one that comes out tomorrow, all of the ones that I have already out there have angel messages, angel clearing, like all that high energy, good juju for you. You don't have to listen to the bedtime story, just listen to the first 12 minutes and you'll get a download. So perhaps the podcast can be part of your self-care, but pay attention to what is calling to you right now. If you're short-tempered, if you're fatigued, if you're feeling more anxious, if you're feeling kind of depressed, I mean, listen, this is a hard time that we're going through. You're not alone. Let your angels love you. Let the high energies come in to soothe you. Sometimes what I like to imagine is I close my eyes and I take some deep breaths and I visualize this golden light coming straight from source energy, coming in up through my crown chakra and filling me up. So whatever you need to do, and don't worry about this, it's nothing big. I just hurt my wrist a little bit and I'm using this as a protective measure, but all of you who are empaths and healers, I'm good. Okay, so that's my energy conversation with you. Now let's move on to COVID. So if you don't want to hear me talk about COVID, you can tune out now. But for those of you who find my perspectives on this helpful, I'm here for you. I am not saying that I know what's right for you. I don't know. I don't know what you need to do. But hopefully I'm going to give you some information that will help you tune in to what you need to know. We're all dealing with, it's interesting because we have to look at this as a collective perspective and also a personal perspective. So I'm doing what I need to do to take care of myself and my husband based on our personal data points, like what happens for us when one of us gets sick. So I will say we're both triple vaxxed. If you're reading what's going on with Omicron, that doesn't necessarily mean we're not going to get sick. This seems to be a very communicable strain of the virus. And there are lots of anecdotal there's lots of anecdotal evidence that people who are triple vaxxed and masking are getting this thing. So it's interesting because I was just reading in the news that President here in America, here in the US, President Biden and Dr. Fauci are saying that if everybody's vaccinated, you can still get together for Christmas. And honest to God, I do not know what they are talking about. We're not going to be with our family for Christmas. We're zipping up shop because people who are triple vaxxed are getting this, and we're not sure how serious that's going to be yet. There's a lot of anecdotal information. I follow a couple Reddit threads, and I do not mean to make that sound authoritative. Like there's Reddit threads for, sister wives and real housewives of Mars, so I don't mean to make that sound like that's the end all be all of information, but there's a lot of anecdotal information. And what it seems like is when people get it, who are triple vaxxed, it can come on like a bad cold, really bad sore throats, deep fatigue. Um, some people are getting it as the stomach flu, digestive information, digestive stuff happening. And so here's my recommendation. You do what you need to do to keep yourself feeling safe. Now, you are wise, you have access to Dr. Google, you have access to your professionals. I trust in your wisdom, your guidance, and your intuition to know what you need to do to be safe. Whatever safe means to you, okay? But here's what I do recommend. I think chances are pretty good that a lot of us are going to get some form of this. If not this, a cold, a flu, something, right? It's winter. um, because there's going to be an increase in people who are symptomatic, my recommendation is if you're feeling healthy and well now, this is a great time to check your supplies. So we all kind of have our own health and wellness kit, right? For some of you, it may be over-the-counter medications. For others of you, it could be homeopathic and holistic and your teas and your tinctures. Whatever your wellness kit is, check the expiration dates on everything and replenish. So I did this in October. I went through our personal wellness kit of, I'm not going to make recommendations. It's the stuff that we use. I don't have any good stuff on withholding, guys. I tend to lean towards over-the-counter medications. So if you go to Walgreens or CVS, you'll have the same things I have. I don't have any like magic woo ideas for you. Check the expiration dates and everything. I made sure everything we had in the house at least had another year shelf life on it. So I replenished. So if one of us does get sick, I have anti-nausea medications, antiemetic. I have stuff for digestion. I have stuff for cold and flu. I have tea in the house. I have the soups we like to have if we're not feeling well. Electrolytes. So think about if you were not feeling well, what would you want to have in the house? Because you don't want to wait until you're not feeling well. It's like get the stuff in the house, put it into put it in a closet somewhere. Don't even think about it again. And hopefully you won't need it. And in a year's time, you'll throw it out again and get some more. We're kind of doing the bulk grocery shopping. I don't have, a garage full of food or anything like that, but I'm trying to stay a few weeks ahead of the staples of what we need. And I'm being incredibly careful right now. I wear KN95 masks. I may go back to N95s. I just canceled my dentist appointment. I was supposed to have a dentist appointment next week. I'm like, yeah, I'm not coming. So do what you need to do. Again, we're all dealing with personal curriculum here, right? What the risk factors are for my husband and I might be different for what you're dealing with. So take care of yourself. Make sure you have what you need in your home, so that you're not stressed if for some reason you don't feel well. My sense is we're going to get through this. We always do. I don't have a lot of fear going around this. I am feeling the energetic weather though. And so as a result of that, I'm sleeping more. I'm going to sleep at 8 o'clock. Like I can't keep my eyes open past 8 o'clock. And I get so happy when it's finally 8. And I say to my husband, okay, I'm done. He's like, you were done 2 hours ago. I was like, I was, but now I'm actually going to bed. I'm cozying up in cozy clothes. I'm watching and listening to things that delight me. I'm watching a lot of animal rescue videos that always make me happy. I'm doing my podcast, which I love doing and recording for you. So I'm really doing what I can to tend to my energy. Yay! And I hope you have a good holiday. I hope you and your loved ones stay healthy and well. We need you in this world, and I just think it's going to be kind of a bumpy few months, but we always get through it. We're resilient as beings. We're resilient beings. And so hang in there. We're going to take good care of each other. I'm going to be here for you. I'm doing 2 podcast episodes a week to help keep your energy high with the angels and to help you sleep. I've got some new classes that are going to be coming out, some really cool ones that I'm excited to share with you. I am always available for angel sessions. Check my calendar. If you don't see something on my calendar, send me an email. I always have availabilities. I do not list most of my availabilities on my calendar. I'm really weird that way. It is not an efficient way to handle bookings, but it's what I do because I'm weird. And also available for soul mentoring. So if you want a more consistent support, I'm here. And I love you. We'll talk soon. Thank you so much, you guys. Happy holidays. Hope you and your loved ones are well and you know that you are loved. Thank you.